Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday Coffee Klatsch. My name is Danny, and this is the place where we hang out, talk about life, yarn, and everything else, usually in that order. My daughter Artemis will be with us shortly. She's currently bonding with her siblings over video with trashy reality shows. There's a family trait there. I have my headphones on so that I don't have to talk too loud because, in case you hadn't noticed, I am not feeling well once again. This time I'm pretty sure it's not COVID because I just had COVID. So I should at least have 2 weeks worth of immunity. I mean, literally just had COVID about a month ago. So I should have at least a little bit of immunity. So I haven't bothered to test that, and I don't think I have but one test left in my house. Um, I am armed also with liquid for my throat. I have my coffee, which is my usual instant coffee with my favorite flavored creamer, which is Italian sweet cream. I don't know what flavor Italian sweet cream is supposed to be. It's more than just sweet milk. It's some flavor, but I like it. I like it better than just regular creamer. So that's what I have. Um, I did not sleep well last night. Not that you guys come on here to hear me whine and moan, but I'm just, I'm just, what do they call it? Um, Buffering, stalling. There's a word other than stalling, but whatever it is, I'm doing that while I'm waiting for that child of mine to show up. Sorry. I just took some daytime cough syrup, so I think I have about an hour's worth of clear nostrils left to get me through this live stream. Um,
You look
Hello, child of mine.
you sound rough.
That's
Oh my goodness.
that's not a nice thing to say to your mother. You're supposed to say hello. How are
Hello.
you?
Hello. I know how you are. I can hear it.
Well, let's not waste. I just told our lovely audience that I have about an hour's worth of clear nostrils left before I can't breathe again. So let's not waste it.
Are you sure you even have that much?
I
Are
don't
you
know.
should we
I
be doing this live stream from you in bed?
I was gonna do it from bed, but you know that the lighting in there is not good. So I decided to put some clothes on and come be a person. But the usual disclaimer, if you see my video disappear, that's because I had to blow my nose. So, I already gave the opening, so tell us, how are you doing today?
I am also doing a little rough. I'm having my monthly visit from Aunt Flo. So my stomach hurts.
Nobody says that anymore. Although I was just, no lie, like just 30 minutes ago reading Regine Abel's latest Prime Mating Agency book, and
Mhm.
she had just said, visit from Aunt Flo. And I'm like, nobody says that anymore.
Yeah, I only say that as a joke because
I
every
mean,
time I
I
tell
just read that like literally 30 minutes ago.
yeah, I only say it as a joke because every time I'm talking to you and I say I'm on my period, you're like, ew. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's use a euphemism. Ooh. Drink some water, get a cough drop.
I've got my cursor hovering over the mute button.
And you're sure you're sure this isn't the Rona? You're sure this is just a normal cold?
Well, like I told the audience, I'm trying not to repeat stuff, but like I told the audience, I I'm pretty sure that I have at least 2 weeks worth of immunity. I mean, I just had corona,
Mm-hmm.
just had it a little less than a month ago. So, I mean, I was just 2 days past finally getting over coughing up phlegm from corona when I
Mm-hmm.
caught this. So,
Yeah,
the
so as long as it's not
antibodies
two strains lining up with each other or something.
the the antibodies have got to be stronger than that.
Mhm. All right.
Are
So
you
other
do you
than
am I
you,
gonna talk about my life update, or are you gonna talk about yours?
well, I was gonna say other than you hacking up a lung, is there anything that you need to update about?
No, I was just gonna talk about silly stuff.
Oh well, I had
Like
stuff happen.
like last night when I woke up, you know how when you're half asleep,
Mm,
you're on that edge of not quite awake, but you know it's morning, so you're trying to kind of go deeper back into sleep. You're
mm-hmm.
just like that halfway. I was there and I was almost going back to sleep. And then my mouth watered and my own saliva that my own body makes, burnt my tongue.
What?
I sat up in bed. This whole left side of my tongue, for some reason, is sensitive right now. I
Not your
didn't burn
body attacking itself.
I did not burn my tongue. I did not, sometimes if you suck on too many hard
Uh
candies, your
huh.
mouth gets sensitive. Nothing like that. I was thoroughly surprised. I shot up in bed at like 7 o'clock in the morning going, oh my god, I mean, it hurt. It
Your body's
hurt.
just eating itself alive. What is going on?
It's like, ugh.
Okay, so while you were shooting up in bed with your tongue trying to eat itself or whatever, I shot up in bed because I was laying down because I was like, I know I've got stuff to do tomorrow. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to bed, even though I normally try to stay up to maintain my sleep schedule for work because I'm working third shift. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed because I got stuff to do tomorrow and I'll drink some coffee tomorrow. I lay down, all of a sudden the dog starts barking, and not the like, oh, someone's getting me food or something barking, the somebody is at our house barking. And then
Intruder, intruder.
I sit up and I look out my window, and what do I see but two area where I live police uniforms
Oh
on my
no.
porch.
Oh
And
no.
I'm like, what is going on? And so I'm trying not to like panic because I've been deep in TikTok, and everything on TikTok right now is political, 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 and this happened, this happened, this happened. And so I am like terrified, like so terrified. And then I get up and Wayne is outside talking to them, and so I have to wait for him to come back inside. And so I'm only getting snippets, and my other roommate Pierce is in the living room, and I come in and I'm like, what's going on? And they said they are like, somebody's like car is here. There's like a car that is like suspicious or something here. And I'm like, what? Is it in? And they're like, it's not even in our driveway. It's in the neighbor's driveway because our house is in like almost like a little cul-de-sac. So there's like three different areas for people to park, but it's not like all ours. It belongs to all three of the houses. Ooh, did she dip out altogether, or is she just turn off the camera because she's coughing? We will see. What is okay. Anyway, I will just continue with the story and I'll catch her up when she gets back. So I am waiting, 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 and I hear him come back in the house, and it turns out that somebody was like, "Oh, is she back? Oh, are you back?"
I never left. I just
Okay.
didn't want the audience to see me blowing my
You're good.
nose.
No, you're good. Usually when you turn off your camera, it's like your square is still there and it's just like gray or it turns to your face or something. But whenever you get disconnected from the internet, it pulls you all the way out and makes me big screen. So I wasn't sure
Oh,
about which one happened. But
oh,
anyway, so he Wayne finally comes back in and he gives me more of the story of what's going on. Apparently somebody was being served like papers for something, served for some kind of like fine or something, and they hopped in their car, drove, booked it, and parked in our driveway and booked it into the woods behind our house. But they accused Wayne and they were accusing us of harboring a fugitive, and
oh
they threatened to arrest him multiple times for obstruction of justice. And he was like, "That is not our car. That's not even in our driveway. That is the neighbor's driveway. That is not in our driveway. That car doesn't belong to anybody here. We're not doing anything. It's not, we literally were just sitting in our house." And so they were causing a bunch of issues, and then like they were getting pissed at him, and so he kept saying, "That's not ours, that's not our driveway, that's the neighbor's driveway." And so they went to our neighbor, who is buddy buddy with our landlady, by the way. They went to the neighbor and lied to her and said that he told them that that was their car and that they're holding somebody at the house.
oh
And so now
no.
she texts him this morning, all pissed off, saying, "Why would you send the cops over to our house? That's not cool." Blah blah blah. And he had to text back like, "That's not what happened. They are lying." It was a whole big kerfuffle. And so there's all of that scariness of the cops here trying to threaten to arrest people. Also, there's someone running around in the woods around our house. Like,
That
how
was
are
this
you not seeing
morning?
that? That was last night.
Oh, last night.
Yeah, like you're
Oh,
getting pissed off and threatening to arrest and all this stuff. How do you see that that is not a scary situation for us? Some crazy person running around in our backyard, like around our house.
oh no.
So we had two fully different scary situations going on because that person could have just like tried to break into our house or something. Like it's
Oh
so,
no.
what in the world? They finally left, but now we're dealing with the neighbor lady being pissed at us because the cops lied to
Cause
the it's
she's not believing you. She's believing the cops.
I mean, Wayne is still trying to like talk her down and explain. And then our neighbor Gary was outside, and Gary talks to the neighbor lady too. And so Wayne is trying to get her to talk to Gary so that Gary can vouch for us because Gary was out there listening.
Gary's the guy who you borrow the car from sometimes, right?
Yes, yeah, he's the older man. But he was out on his porch, like chilling out on his porch the whole time, like listening to everything that was going on. Once because Wayne let him know what was going on. So that he wouldn't be like super surprised and shocked because he's got all kinds of like health stuff, and so he didn't want him to be like surprised or shocked or anything. Um, but that's what I was dealing with last night. They were outside for a good while. Like I didn't see their lights leave for a good while. It was so
Oh
stressful.
my goodness. I can imagine.
And eventually I think oh yeah, Pierce the other roommate who stays in this room, because I can see like the side woods of the house right now, and then that way is the back of the house with like the full woods. And so Pierce sleeps in this room, and they were stressed out because they have their own like stuff going on. So they were stressed out, and they finally like came in here and were trying to get settled down to go to bed, and they like turned off the house lights and turned on the TV to like lay down or whatever. And then they heard some noise on the side of the house and looked out the window and saw him like book it over to his car.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Like that's just so irritating because one, the cops not believing Wayne about what was going on, lying to our neighbor about what he said, and then also that guy putting us in danger for just running into it. Like, you could have gone anywhere. You were in a car. Why did you not continue to drive in
To
your
be
car?
continue to be in the car.
Exactly. What sense does it make to leave your car somewhere and book it off into the woods when you
Oh
know,
my
like,
goodness.
they know where your last known location was. So unless you had somewhere that you were gonna go, what was your game plan, sir?
Oh my goodness.
It's
So
just
so
chaos over here.
you had excitement.
Yeah,
Excitement of the unwanted kind.
exactly. Just chaos, chaos, chaos over here. I was
Oh
stressed out for a
goodness.
long time because you know that feeling when like your adrenaline starts pumping and it just
Yes.
like, and I was like, and it was making me like nauseous how much adrenaline was going. It was awful.
So, how's the house hunt going?
It's so I think I updated you outside of stream on this, but just the official update for anybody who's listening. We found an apartment that looks like it's going to be absolutely perfect. It looks so good because we have
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
four. Hmm?
Apartment or house?
It's a house. I call anything that is renting
Anything that
in
you
my head
rent
is
is
an
called an
apartment.
apartment. Yeah, I know.
Yes. We found a new flat that we want to rent, and it looks like it's going to be real good. Um, ooh, that accent
I don't know
faded
where
away.
that accent came from.
No, well, I was saying flat, so I was thinking like an English accent, and then but any English accent right now because I'm practicing that Scottish accent so hard will shift immediately. I've not been doing English accents lately, but we found an apartment that looks like it's gonna be so good. It has a garage, two-door garage, so we have space to park
Oh, you
both
didn't
of our
mention that.
cars. I forgot because that was not super important to me. But it's got two-door garage. It's got downstairs and upstairs. It's got a nice proper kitchen. It's got upstairs has three bedrooms because we have
I
four
don't know what you're
people.
gonna do with the kitchen because you ain't got no silverware, ain't got no pots and pans, ain't got no
I
microwave.
can film TikToks in the kitchen and make it look like I have these things. That make it look like I'm cooking. I can. The kitchen is where I can store all of my snacks. There's plenty of cabinet space for me to store all of my snackies.
Okay, whatever.
But there's the kitchen, there's the upstairs living room, and then there's okay, so upstairs there's three bedrooms upstairs. One of them is like shares a
So
connected
it's a
bathroom.
two-story.
Yes.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and so upstairs there's three bedrooms. One of them shares a connected bathroom, and then the other one, the bathroom is like across the hall.
So
And then
it's is
there's
it a Jack and Jill bathroom?
is that what that's called? Where there's the two rooms and then there's a bathroom in the middle. I don't know what that means. Ooh, we're gonna let her have her moment. She's coughing so she can think of a good explanation.
I don't have to think of a good explanation. I grew up with a Jack and Jill bathroom.
I just don't.
It
I've never heard a bathroom called that. I don't know what that means.
it's where it is pretty much what you described. There's a door on either side. So
Uh huh.
you have the bathroom.
Hmm.
Okay. The way ours was, like, these are the doors. There's the bathroom. There's a toilet on this wall and the sink over on this wall, and then on this wall is the tub.
Uh huh.
So there's two doors. So the door over here was to my brother's room, and the door over here was to me and my sister's room.
Yeah, it's
So
basically like that, except it doesn't. It's this. So that bathroom is the smaller bathroom. So there's the two bedrooms
yeah,
connected
it's
with the
not a
bathroom in the
big
middle, and
bathroom.
it's just got the toilet, sink, and a shower.
No,
It doesn't have a
no
tub.
tub, no
Yeah,
tub.
the other bathroom has a tub though. The other bathroom has a tub, and then and that's the one across the hall from one of the bedrooms. And then there's like upstairs. There's two like sitting rooms. One
Mhm.
of them is like one of them looks like a front room. One of them is like looks like front room, like makes me think of the living room at grandma's house, like front room, and it opens up to the front door and you can like look out into the yard. And then the other one I think looks more onto the backyard or maybe the side, but it's and that room has a fireplace. And then downstairs is another big sitting room, like big, like the whole of the downstairs is kind of a big sitting room, and downstairs has a fireplace as well, and there's a bathroom downstairs. So there's three bathrooms in the house total. Thank goodness, because I'm tired of waking up at 8 in the morning to go pee and somebody is already in the bathroom. Because I like when I get up and I gotta pee, I really gotta go. And the number of times where I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, and I am like immediately in a dire situation because that door is closed and somebody's in there.
Oh Lord.
When I get up, I really gotta go. Like I really gotta go. But
And is this house in A Town proper? I'm trying not to give away the name of where
yeah,
you are.
yeah, yeah, it is.
So
Yeah, it's
A Town is kind of big. How how can you afford a place in A Town proper?
I don't know. It's not like downtown or anything. It's like it's within the town, but it's like kind of
So
out. It's like on the outskirts
it's
almost.
not in a fancy neighborhood.
No, 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 no. It is literally you are driving down a stretch of like kind of wooded highway, and then all of a sudden there's a driveway on the road amidst the trees.
So you're still gonna be pretty far away from like shopping and stuff.
Not super far. If we, from what I understand, because I don't drive in the bigger city. I don't drive in A town super often because driving in a bigger city stresses me out just with all the traffic and stuff, and trying to figure that out stresses me out so bad. But talking to my friend who does live in the city and has like he's lived here his whole life, and so talking to him, I am basically like one or two roads away from being in the middle of one of the main streets with like shopping, food, yada yada. So it's fairly close, but we are like it's because I feel like it's because we
So if you get this place, you'll have room for me to visit.
yeah we'll have room for you to visit. Absolutely, that's what we were talking about. We were like we have space to have a guest room and have like whenever people come over to play D&D, then they can all like stay over and stuff. Yeah, we'll have room for you to visit. We got to get a bed because I'm sure you don't want to be trying to sleep on a mattress on the floor. But why are you looking like that? Do you think we just have spare beds laying around willy nilly right now? We don't currently have a spare room. Why would we need a spare bed?
One of these days you'll be a grown up.
We don't have a spare room right now. Why would we have a spare bed?
Okay, we're not gonna talk about this. Go ahead, continue.
What do you mean we're not gonna? I need you to explain why this does not make sense to me. You need to explain this right now before you end up sleeping in the hammock.
I cannot even get up in the hammock. What are you talking about?
I'll help you. I will assist. But yeah, it's so nice. I told I think you may have seen this in the chat, but when I told Isaac that the house has, I told Isaac, I was like, the house has two fireplaces. And he's like, who needs two fireplaces? What are you, the Pope?
Yeah, I saw that. He was being silly.
He cracks me up. But we are trying real hard to get this. We are going to be putting in the application next week. We
Well,
just
I
had to
thought
make
you
sure
already put in the application.
we had to make sure we had the money for it because to put in the application, it's going to be $250
Oh,
to apply.
deposit or application fee.
Application fees.
Oh,
$50 application fee
wow.
for each applicant. Plus, we have to have a cosigner, and there's a $50 fee for the cosigner as well. We're getting our neighbor Gary to be the cosigner because he has really good credit, and he said he doesn't like Wayne still has to talk to him, but he has said previously that he would be a cosigner for stuff. But we don't want to make him pay that cosigner fee, so we are paying the cosigner fee as well.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so $250. So we had to make sure. That's why I was so excited about getting this event in Tennessee because that got confirmed. Did I tell you? I told you about that event, right? Did we talk about that
You,
last week?
you mentioned that you were gonna do that event.
Yeah, we like kind of we confirmed everything, and I have sent her the invoice, and I set my price and everything. So I'm going to be getting $600 from that. Because
Okay.
I said because for like smaller stuff, my hourly fee is like $55, but for bigger events like weddings, my fee is $100, and I will not go any less than $100
Because it
for a
seems
wedding because
like
that is so stressful.
didn't you do that event and like they didn't have a covering for you and you were out in the sun and it was
No,
hot
yes,
and everything.
exactly. We were out in the sun and we didn't have, and they did not explain to me where I was going to be setting up, what was going to be going on. Otherwise, I would have brought my own tent. I have a tent. I would have brought my own tent,
So
but
you're
they
gonna
did not
bring
explain.
your own stuff this time just in case.
Yes. Yes, I'm bringing my tent this time. I just bought a new tent today, $40, $50. But because I've got farmers market tomorrow, and my tent from last season was absolutely ruined in the rain. It was that tent lasted like 4 years, but it got absolutely
Okay.
ruined last year. Yeah, so I had to buy a new one. But yeah, I'm bringing my own tent this time because I'm not about to get caught out in the sun again. Because I got burnt, not like sunburn, but I got like it was just really hot. I got lightheaded and like so hot. Like my phone was sitting on the table for me, like keeping track of stuff and keeping track of time and stuff. My phone got so hot, I went to put it in my shorts pocket and it burnt my leg through my shorts pocket.
Oh
It
no.
was so hot.
So tomorrow's gonna be your first farmers market of the year, right?
Yeah, my first farmers market of the season.
So that should lead smoothly into crafty things.
Crafty
Crafty things.
things.
So, because I wanted to ask you how you're doing as far as inventory.
I have not prepped very much more inventory. I've made a bunch more bracelets of those beaded bracelets that I was making, but I have
Hmm.
not made any more crochet stuff yet because I the crochet stuff doesn't do super well early in the summer just because it's hot. I've still got
Right.
stuff left over from last year, and so I'm gonna put all that stuff out on the table. But like most of
What
that's
about
like,
the bags? You were on a bag kick for a while.
oh yeah,
Bags are pretty
I've
nice.
got all those bags, so I'm hoping that those go pretty well.
Yeah, because
Um,
those are things that people aren't wearing bags, but
yeah.
yeah, emphasize you can put your produce in there.
Hmm.
It's not just for pretty; it's good for produce, and it can go in the washing machine and dryer. Because
Yeah.
you remember that video that we saw of the
Hmm.
lady who tested the yarns on those bags and stuff. So
Yeah, all these bags are cotton except for I think two of them that are acrylic, and so they should all be absolutely fine in the washer and dryer. They're super stretchy. I want to try to talk to one of the vendors and see if I can just get some of something, some kind of produce or something to like put in a
uh-huh,
bag and then hang up so it is like
uh-huh,
on display as a produce bag.
uh-huh.
But we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, I've got the bags. I still need to put the lining in the really pretty one that I was working on. This one, I've still got to put the lining in this one and put a
Uh,
strap on it. But then that one will be good to go too. I'm trying to be so. Oh, we got Ronald. Ronald, Ronald, you got to go back and listen to the beginning of this stream later, because I had some shenanigans happen last night. It was some scary shenanigans. It took a long time to explain, but oh, thank you. Setting up for game night tonight. Ooh, no worries. I hope you have fun with game night tonight. But yeah, you go back and anybody watching this right now, go back and listen to the beginning part because there were shenanigans during the life update. Um, and my mother is going to be muting and turning her camera off and stuff because she is sick. Not Rona sick, but she is sick. So she's gonna be coughing and blowing her nose and stuff. Ooh, that's a cute bandana though. I like it. Meanwhile, my hair is gross. But yeah, we're talking about how I have farmers market tomorrow, first on the season, and I'm trying to be just as low key for tomorrow as possible to try to get back into the swing of things. I still have to go and like reorganize all of my stuff and get all my face paint stuff together. I can see it sitting in the room like right in front of me. I just have to put it all back together. Yeah, she's still sick. She not Rona, but she caught like another like kind of cold thing. It's
okay,
rough.
is that better if I just bend down and blow my nose so y'all don't have to see me?
Yes. Every time you turn the camera off, I immediately like and you close it so that I'm full screen. I immediately assume that you've lost internet because it's
Okay,
happened so many times because your
I
internet is
won't.
jank.
I won't do that anymore. This
Mm.
cough drop is still not doing anything.
Yeah, you sound rough, rough, rough. But yeah, so I've got farmers market tomorrow. I made some bracelets, but I have not crocheted anything else. I am trying to focus a little bit more on henna because this is the season for henna and face paint. So that's
And I
actually what I'm gonna be
guess
doing today. Hmm?
and I guess no more of those cup holders since your ogre is not working for that coffee shop anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I can do because I still got all that rainbow yarn. So I'm trying to find
Uh-huh.
some cute little something that I can make with all that rainbow yarn. I was thinking about maybe making something with pride flags. I just don't know. I don't know what I would make. Something small and
I like
easy
those
to
cup
sell.
holders though. Those are
They
so cute.
they were cute, and I've still got a few of them. I need to finish the ends on the ones that I have, and I'm still gonna put those out on the table because they were made.
Maybe because you were using plastic canvas to make the mug that went on the front of them. Maybe you could use plastic canvas and make like a heart or something.
Ooh, that would be
On the
cute.
front.
Ooh, I could make solid black cup holders or cup cozies and then just make a rainbow
Rainbow
heart to
hearts.
go on them. And that would be a lot easier because I don't have to do all those color changes in the cup cozy. That would be good. I might need to do that. Ooh, Ronald says you need some Mucinex, and she does.
Actually, we've got some Mucinex pills in there, but um it's only an expectorant, so I really don't need anything to help me cough up more phlegm because I'm doing fine with that on my own.
Don't mind me. I'm
But
plugging up my laptop so it
but
doesn't die.
hubby bought some off-label cough syrup that is working really well, but it, you I uh, I
Is it
went through
gross?
that bottle. No, I went through that bottle in no time.
Oh,
I don't have a problem taking cough syrup or anything like that. I'm just,
oh, I do. I'm a baby.
the taste of medication, whatever. But I took the last dose of that. That worked well enough for me to be able to sleep for a few hours. But I took
Hmm.
the last dose of that, so now I've got to root around downstairs and see if there's any like Alka
Leftover.
Seltzer. You know that Alka Seltzer that you put in the hot water, so like it's a
Yeah.
tea.
Or the like the I just saw some in my cabinet. What did we
See,
have?
like
Airborne.
the Theraflu. See if I have any of that that's not expired.
Hmm.
Because I went nearly 3 or 4 years without having a cold, period, because
Hmm.
I work from home. So I don't see people.
Now
So
daddy's bringing in all that airport sickness.
so ooh, which make which usually I don't catch his colds either because he's so even before corona, he's always been very not paranoid, but just like very conscious of
Hmm.
I am contagious. I'm gonna sleep downstairs on the
Hmm.
recliner, whatever. I think it's probably left over from years ago.
When
You
grandma got
probably
sick.
yeah. I was
Hmm.
about to say you probably don't remember this, but I guess you do because grandma came to stay with us for a little while. My
Yeah,
late
she got like
mother yeah,
didn't she and Chloe get pneumonia at the same time?
my late mother-in-law, Ronald, got there was it, it sticks out in my mind because our little town area made the national news because we had so many people who had flu and pneumonia that year.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And yeah, it was considered like not exactly like a mini epidemic almost
Hmm.
because so many people in our area, it was bigger than the normal yearly flu. And people were it was converting to so many to pneumonia for so many people.
Hmm. Yeah, just
Yeah.
remember I have this very vivid image of in the living room before the couches were changed. Like if you're standing in the den and you're facing the living room and there was that couch on that wall there,
Uh-huh.
and grandma laying on that couch on that
Mhm.
wall.
But yeah, I think ever since then I think he didn't really take colds particularly seriously until then. And
Hmm.
then after
We got to get you a better cough drop. I'm about to
these
text
cough
Isaac,
drops
tell him to send you something.
these cough drops were working, but it's the third day when I get the really bad cough.
Yeah.
I know the flow of my respiratory illnesses. And this is the third day when I start really coughing up a lung.
Hmm.
And then tomorrow it's gonna be worse to where I'm so tired it's hard to get out of bed. But then after that, I come up the other side.
Good thing we stream on Friday. Maybe we should have pushed it back to Thursday.
Yeah, I wasn't terrible yesterday.
Yeah, I would have been in the middle of babysitting though, and I did not feel good yesterday. I had to call out of work because I was like, I have not been able to get my migraine medicine. They have to call my neurologist and try to redo the prescription because my prescription ran out. So they're having to call her to see if she can refill out the prescription for me.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So your inventory is okay.
Yeah, my inventory's all right now. I'm basically going to double check it as I'm setting things up tomorrow because I
Okay.
just don't feel like trying to, like, it I should, but it does not make sense in my head for me to pull everything out of my car to go through it just
Uh-huh.
to put it all back in the car.
Yeah.
So I'm
Makes
just
sense.
gonna
And you've got enough henna to at least do henna tomorrow.
yeah, I'm about to put some henna on me right now because I'm
Okay.
not crafting. I'm about to do some henna so I can have some on for tomorrow.
Okay. Well, as far as how are you doing on your hoodie?
I made no progress.
Neither
I've
have
made
I.
no progress. That hoodie is gonna. This hoodie will be the hoodie that we complete at the beginning of January 2024.
That's what it feels like. Honestly, I'm starting to hate it. So even though we said we are doing a crochet along, I think we should like call a mutual rest period or something.
Maybe
Because
because I don't hate it. I just am not. I don't know where that flow that I had went. I've just lost it. Like I was in a
uh
groove for a minute of like getting it, getting it, getting it, and
uh
then I just like have lost that flow of crocheting anything. Period. Like I have my like ups and downs with crocheting stuff, and I have that's why I have so many crafts. I like go through different craft like phases, and I just the crochet phase is gone right now.
yeah, that's why I said we should call a mutual like cease because I right now crocheting that thing is not hitting
Yeah,
at all. All I've been in the mood for is coloring.
the
I've
wind
been,
tunnel coming from her mic.
oh, I'm so sorry.
That's what Ronald said.
I'm so sorry. I haven't had to use my this is my
You're a
hot
nice fan.
flash. This
Oh,
is
do I
my
have mine?
my hot flash fan
Yeah,
is
I
what
have
I've
my
been.
green one that matches that, but it's in the other room.
Uh, that's what I've been calling it, my hot flash fan. But since my herbs have been working so well, I haven't had to use it. But when I get a cold, which is
Yeah.
crazy, I never get a fever. I check myself multiple times. I never get a fever, but I feel hot as I don't know what.
Mhm.
But I never get a fever. I'm like I get the thermometer out because like right now, if I was in the bedroom, I would get the thermometer out because I'd be like, oh my god, surely I have a fever. No, 97.6.
Your body's
Why?
just you're feeling it because your body's expelling it.
It's like I don't understand. But anyway, I think I've got the coloring out of my system right now. But in the
Mhm.
meantime, because I haven't started a new picture, but in the meantime, I finished this one.
Hey, we finished him. We need to
This
put
is
him up on the wall.
my Beethoven. And this one, I'm really happy with the color range I chose on this one.
Oh, it looks so good. Oh, it looks
Yeah,
so good.
on camera. Yeah, it looks I'm looking at it on camera, it looks really good on camera.
It
But even
does.
in person, you can't really see like the depth of the orange in
Mhm.
here. But yeah, looking at it on camera, I can see it even better than looking at it, like
In
this.
person, yeah.
I can really looking at it on camera, I can really see. So I can
Ronald says
see
they look good too.
what is up on my wall.
Yeah,
It's
it's gonna
gonna
look.
look
You need to get some picture
it's
frames
gonna
and
look
put them
really
up.
it's gonna look really good up on the wall. But this just makes me sad because the creator of these Quirkles books is
Mhm.
Thomas Pravitt, I think his name is.
Uh huh.
And he only made like three. He made
Oh.
he made this one with the with what he calls icons.
Uh huh.
'Cause I think you bought me this one.
Yeah, that was one of the
And
Christmas ones.
he made another one called Animals, which,
Not an animal person. I got it.
I'm not an animal person. But then he made a third one called Cats, and I'm real tempted to get the cat one
It would be so
after I
cute.
finish this one simply because I'm not a cat person, but I'm enjoying this one so much
Mhm.
that I kind of Thomas Pavitt is his name, not Pravitt, Pavitt. But he also did um another oh no, he's got another one, Masterpieces. But I think that which is
Ronald said, "Are cats not animals?"
well, that's why I say it. I don't understand why the cat one is separate, but I'm just saying he made cats. I don't know why he made cats separate, but I would do a whole I don't mind cats. I would do a whole book of cats. I don't want a book with giraffes and elephants and
Mhm.
things like that, but I would do a whole book full of cats. That would be fun. but there's one called Masterpieces,
Oop, and we're pulling it up.
which is it up?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
I see
Which
that
is
famous smile.
so it's all like famous recreations of famous paintings,
Okay.
and I wouldn't mind that one because it's got girl with pearl earring
Hmm.
and some other ones that I don't recognize, but I wouldn't mind doing that one. I forgot that that one existed,
Yeah,
but I
Ronald, it's like colored by number, but they're like bubbles, and so it fills the shapes in kind of differently, and gives kind of the bubble, sort of a bubble effect. I really like it. I think they look really good. And you like choose your own colors, just like within a range of like tones or whatever.
yeah, within a range of five.
Mm.
It's five colors for every picture. Yeah, it's five colors for every picture, and you choose. Let me see if I can. Okay, maybe you can see it. I can't even see myself, but can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, where that white is. See, it's all circles like that, except on this white part, there's no numbers in there. That's why I left it white for the collar because there's no numbers in there. But normally there would be like a one or a two or a three inside each of the sections. Yeah, it's a color by number thing, Ronald, but I I've done traditional adult color by number, and we've already discussed last week my struggles with, you know, can I really be proud of doing these pictures when really they're already drawn for me and it's basically a coloring book, you know. It's
And I
not
said
really
yes.
it's not really art or whatever, but I like these because there's somewhat of not necessarily a puzzle element, but like a mystery. Thank you, Ronald. That's very sweet.
Mm.
Um, there's like a mystery element of it because like with the Quirkles books, they do have in the back where they show you in order what pictures are in the book. So if you want to go to a specific person, you can. But I um I just randomly pick. I do not look in the back. I have not looked at the contents to see who all's pictures are in this book. I knew Marilyn Monroe was in there because of the cover. But other than that, I have not really looked. So I just pick them in random. So then that gives me a little sense of discovery as I'm coloring it. Um, that's why I do these other ones called mosaics that I do. But I like the Quirkles one better because the nature of the circles gives it more of a
It leaves the image kind of hidden a bit more.
well, at least the image hidden a bit more, but it also gives it more of a um
Organic feel.
yes. Yes, because the mosaic one it's all squares. And so it gives it more of a blocky look. Like I was gonna get up and go get my mosaic book, but I'm gonna see if I can just find it
Yeah, I was like, you don't need to
on.
be sending that. Let's see. Ronald says while you're pulling that up, I do my diamond art, and there ain't no decision making in that. But I show them off to anyone who will look. Good for you, Ronald. I still need to finish putting together the Discord so that people can put their stuff on the Discord because I want to see all of Ronald's diamond paintings. I've just been my life has been absolute chaos for the last for the last week or so, but oh, I need to finish putting it together because I want to specifically for Ronald's diamond paintings.
Okay, I bought my mosaic book from Mindware, and you can see that
Hmm.
I didn't buy this specific book, but I bought one from this same company, and so you can see the blockiness.
Yeah, it's like pixel art.
Yeah, it's like pixel art, and you know, me and pixel art are not friends.
Yeah.
So, because I don't like pixel art video games, so me and pixel art are not friends. But I mean, it was a good introduction to because I didn't know when I bought these mosaic books, I didn't know if I would like. I didn't know if I would like um, adult coloring because
Mm-hmm.
this was my because I didn't like coloring books when I was a kid. Just
Mm-hmm.
like I didn't like cartoons as a kid. I was just not I was not a fun child.
Yeah, she was a boring child. I feel like if we were children at the same time, we would not have been friends.
No, we would not. You would have annoyed me to no end. We would not have been friends.
Now you stuck with me.
Okay, this looks cute,
Oh, I like that one.
but the pictures are a little. It's meant for kids though. I have
Yeah,
to say
they're like simple, but
the
I mean they look
pictures
fun.
are a little childish to me, but it looks cute.
Ronald says I was getting so much done before y'all went live. Now I'm sitting here doing nothing. I'm getting something done. I'm over here doing henna on my arm. I started it, and made it all kinds of crooked.
Well, I've got I'm still working on my dumpling bag. I've still got like an inch and 3/4 before I start the handles. So it's going to be a tiny bag because you
Hmm.
see, I add another 2 inches to this. It's not going to be a big bag.
Yeah, it's gonna be little.
Yeah, it's going to be little, but it'll be cute. So yeah, that's all I got done was my pictures. I see you put in the
Oh yeah, let me look at the list.
on the list knitting machines.
Yeah, I whenever we move to before I move on, Ronald asked, can you explain what a dumpling bag is? And I
How about you talk about your knitting machine while I pull up the picture of the dumpling bag?
Okay, I will do that. I have not used the knitting machine yet. What I was the only reason I was bringing that up was because we are moving soon. I don't want to try to get everything splayed out. I'm trying very hard not to start any big projects at the house since we're going to be moving in like a month or less. Um, and I don't want to get all spread out just to have to pack everything up again. So I haven't made any candles, even though I really kind of want to start making candles again. I haven't done anything else. But whenever we move to whatever new house we're going to, everybody out there, pray, send your good vibes that we get this house that we found. I really want to get it, but wherever we move, I'm putting it into the universe that hopefully we're moving into that house. I want to take out the sewing machine and take out the knitting machine and start doing things once we're in a more permanent space. Don't have to worry about going anywhere. And I've got more space to kind of spread out. Um, because I definitely want to make some skirts, some like maybe some simple blankets, some very simple like garments and stuff with the knitting machine. Try to make some things with that. I saw somebody showed a couple tutorials on how to make socks on that sweater machine, and so I want to try that too because then I could bust out some socks and not have to. Because I just don't even want to try to make socks. Crochet socks are chunky, and knitting socks I'm not about to try to sit down and take the time to do that. It's not
I
gonna work.
enjoyed knitting socks the one or two times that I made. I think I completed a total of 2 pairs of socks.
Hmm.
I've had the single sock syndrome, as knitters call it, where you knit one sock and then you're like, I never make it to the second sock. That's why there's
Hmm.
so many tutorials on how to um
Make them at the same time.
make them at the same time because once you knit the first one, you have that sense of completion and then you don't feel like starting over again to knit the
Yep.
second.
You like I made a
Um
single item. I don't need to do anything else.
but
But yeah, I want to take out the knitting machine to do some things, and then you go ahead and pull up that dumpling bag. But I want to bust out the sewing machine. I have not made anything. Wayne's grandmother gave me a sewing machine, and I have not made anything with it yet. But I think the first few things that I want to try to make are I want to try to make some you know, the heating pads that have the like coffee beans in them that you like put in the microwave and they like get warm and you can sit them on you and they smell good. Because I remember you had one specifically that had like moons and suns on it that
it's
like
so crazy how in sync we are today. I just picked that bag up yesterday
really
as I was cleaning downstairs in the kitchen. It was in a pile next to the
we have
refrigerator
a mind link.
and I was trying to, you know how things get piled up in certain places in your
Hmm.
house and then you have to redistribute them back to their homes. And that heating pad was downstairs the one with the moons
Mhm.
and the stars. It was downstairs because I was keeping it downstairs just in case I needed to throw it in the microwave right quick. So I kept it near downstairs.
But yeah, I want to make some. I want to make some of those, and then I want to make some. The three things I want to make. I want to start with those because I know those are gonna be super easy. Like just make a square, and that'll get me kind of used to using the sewing machine because I don't think I've ever used a sewing machine. I may have like done a few stitches on one before, but never like properly used one to make an entire item.
I
So
don't
that
remember, but I'm thinking you didn't take
home
family
ec,
life. Well,
I
they don't call it home ec anymore. By the time you were in school, it was family life.
well family life or whatever. I did take that class though, but I'm pretty sure I hand sewed something because
Okay.
I made an M shaped pillow that looks kind of like a three, and
Okay.
it's but I want to say I'm 90% sure I hand sewed it. I may have used the machine, but if I did, that was when I was in ninth grade, 10th grade, so
Uh huh.
so many years ago. But I want to make those. I want to make the heating pads, and then I want to make some circle skirts because those feel like they would be really simple to make. And
I want a double circle skirt so
yes,
bad.
that's the reason I want to make them was because I love circle skirts. So I want to make some to sell, but also I want to make some so that I can make myself some circle skirts.
But I
Um,
don't want those little short above the knee ones because
no,
I'm
full
an old
length.
lady. I want a full, not
Yes.
I want midi length, which is like mid calf, which is a 1950s length. I know you're not going to wear something that length,
Yeah,
but
I want either short or full length. I'm not a midi length kind of person. But I will try to make you one once I start getting it together and try to make them. But I
I mean,
like,
I would wear a full length one, but I would like to have a midi length one mid
mhm.
calf because that's more of a 1950s length. I would like that.
Yeah, but I want to make some of those, and I definitely want to get some bright pins. After watching Bob Hart's Abishola, I have been like dying to get some stuff in some of those big, bold African prints.
Uh huh.
But and then the other thing that I want to make is they were popular on TikTok for like 2 seconds, but the wrap pants. Have you seen those? You
I
know the ones
think
I'm
I
talking about?
have. I
Where
think I
they're like one big solid piece of fabric and you like tie it around your waist like an apron and then you have to scoop it under and then tie it around again to like
Uh
make a
huh.
pair of pants. I want to make some because they look. I was looking up yesterday when I couldn't sleep. I was looking up like people making them and like the patterns maker, and they look super simple. Like the construction of them looks super simple, and so
Uh-huh.
it feels like something that I can make, and also in big bold African patterns that I could sell at the farmers market.
Okay, so this is the dumpling bag before Ronald gets impatient with us.
Yeah.
This is the dumpling bag. Basically, it's just a simple knit bag. It's made this version of it. There's other versions of it I found out after I found this pattern. There's other versions, crochet versions of it. But this version that I'm making, which is the knit version, it has a provisional cast on, which means if you can see all these threads that I've got here, I cast on with some waste yarn at the bottom. I can't remember if you're a knitter or not, Ronald, but I cast on with some waste yarn at the bottom, and then I knit, and then you come back and put your needles back through this to close the bottom out. Is I think how
Mm.
this is going to work. But I like it simply because the way the handle is. Let me see if there's a closer up picture. I like the way the handle is where it's one side is slightly longer than the other. So you put the long side through the hole of the short side to kind of close it.
Hmm.
I just thought that was cute.
Yeah, I saw that
So
pattern too before I started making my market bags, and I kind of want to make a couple because I feel like those would also be pretty decent market bags if I make bigger ones. Because one you're making is
yeah,
like a little clutch.
yeah, yeah. This is a little clutch bag, mostly. Yeah. I noticed it started echoing. I could hear
Is your
myself.
Can you? I can't hear an echo. That's weird that you and Ronald can hear it and I can't. What's wrong?
It wasn't echoing when I first started, but then it started echoing weirdly. I don't know what I did.
That's odd. You don't have like the stream up somewhere, do you?
Not that I know of.
That's odd.
No, I don't. Um, so do we want to talk about, because we are like an hour in, so we need to either pick, are we going to talk about video games or are we going to talk about reality TV?
Let's talk about TV. And before we get to reality TV, did you watch Game Changer?
No, I didn't.
Mother!
I forgot. I got sick.
Ooh, you are excused this one time because you are sick and sound so pitiful.
You
If
know
you have not
what?
watched it by next week, I'm
Okay.
going to start a riot.
Okay. Okay. I got my phone right now. I'm going to put a reminder on my phone. That's the only thing that seems to work for me these days, is if I put a reminder on my phone. I never used the reminder part of my iPhone before, but about a year ago I started using it, and it is very helpful for me.
Good.
So,
Set your reminder, watch your
watch
thing.
game changer. And where do I find that again?
On Dropout.
On Dropout.
Ooh, this is just turning out so crooked. I think it's because of the way I have to hold my arm because I'm trying not to get it on
Okay,
myself. I'm going to pull the camera down so you guys can see what I'm working on.
I got that on my list now.
Oh, goodness. So, oh, let me make sure I'm not bumping it.
Oh, ooh, pretty.
But it's
That's
so
that's
crooked
where
to my
that's
wrist.
where that's where she makes her real money, Ronald.
But it's so, I can't even explain to you how crooked this is on my wrist. It's so annoying.
But it's pretty.
It's going to be done.
I can kind of see with the line at
Yeah.
the very front. That's the only part that slightly looks crooked.
Well, it's shifted all like this is the center of, okay, let me see if I can. No, it looks worse when I turn it that way, but it always does that because your arm doesn't always turn all the way around. But like, okay, so if I was holding it up like this, if this was the other side of my arm, so this is the center of my hand, but the center of the flower is like shifted over here.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's so annoying because I have my arm like kind of stretched a funny way. Thank you, Ronald.
Are you sure you don't want to talk about video games? We talked about reality TV last week.
Didn't we talk about video games last week too? Yeah, we
No,
could we can. All right, we can
no, we
talk.
talked about reality TV last week.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about video games instead, or we can
Okay,
talk
so
about games in general.
what is this viewfinder thing?
You pull that up while I am talking about it. My roommate, my new roommate, showed me a trailer of it the other day, and it looks so good. It makes me think
It's
of
it's a video game?
yes, and it makes me think of Superliminal, that game that I think you and I started it like once, and I've seen people play through Superliminal, but
I
it's
think Superliminal made me sick or something, made me dizzy.
that's why we stopped playing it because that was the one that made you kind of nauseous. So this might not be a game for you, but this game is like you have a camera and you like take pictures of stuff and you like line up the pictures and then it'll like freeze and stay and then you can like walk through the picture and it like becomes real life. And so you have to like solve puzzles by like lining stuff up. Ronald plays Superliminal. I never played all the way through it, but I watched people play Superliminal. So good. It is so cool. It was just such a cool concept to me, and so this game feels like it has a similar concept of like altering the world around you and altering your like perspective of how you can do things and like thinking outside of the box. So you might like this game, Ronald. It looks really cool. It's supposed to be coming out. Actually, I don't know when it's supposed to be coming out. Hopefully later this year, and hopefully on Xbox because I want to play it.
Well, it says PlayStation from what I'm
We have a
seeing.
PlayStation. We have a PS4. So hopefully, yeah, there we go. So you like take pictures of stuff and then you like they like rotate or like scan the pictures and like move the pictures around and that's how you like get items for solving puzzles. Very like Superliminal and also just the environment kind of makes me think of Mist, even though I only played a tiny, tiny bit of Mist. It kind of makes me think of Mist.
When did you play Mist?
We had Mist on the 3DS before somebody stole our 3DS. Doesn't it look? It looks freaky, but it looks so cool. But that, yeah, this feels like even just looking at that one scene where everything was kind of twisting, I feel like that might make you nauseous if Superliminal made you nauseous. I
Okay.
really want to play it though.
Well, that sounds fun. Okay, you added Ticket to Ride to this list. Why are we talking about Ticket to Ride?
We finally played the Ticket to Ride board game. We finally played it, and Wayne, as I knew that he was gonna be, we like sat down to play it, and he was like grumpy and like, "Oh, we're playing this game, and I'm playing this because I love you, but this is not normally what I would be doing with my day." And like started playing it, and then once he got the rules, he was like, blocked and like blocking people's stuff and like catching as he definitely had fun with it towards the end of it. Like once he understood the rules, because I feel like I had a hard time explaining the rules because I've played so many times with you guys who know the rules, and so you know when you know how to play a game, then some rules are like default in your head. Of course you can't do that. Like of course you can only take two cards. Of course if you take a rainbow you can only have one. Like it like default, so I like it was a little harder for me to explain the rules, but Danny will definitely get sick from this. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But we finally sat down and played. It was fun, but there were less trains than I thought there were going to be. Yeah,
Yes,
we had to go
because
to London.
yes, because I bought you Ticket to Ride London, which is like a smaller version. It's not the
Mm.
main Ticket to Ride game.
Yeah,
It,
because when we play normal Ticket to Ride like the US version, then you have enough train cars to get from like from Florida to California and maybe halfway back it feels like. But playing
mhm.
Ticket to Ride London, we like you make it one time across the country and you're done. We ran out of train we ran out or there's buses in this one. We ran out of buses so
Oh, it's
fast.
buses?
Yeah, they're the little like on the cover of the thing, it's the little double decker buses.
I mean, I saw the buses on the front of the box, but I didn't realize it was buses in the game. And
Hmm.
as you can see, I've got the Amazon page pulled up. They still got it on sale for $13. I
Yeah,
was thinking,
you think the price might go back up?
which is a good price because all the other versions, even the other small versions, are still like $30.
Hmm.
So I don't know why the London one is still on sale so cheap because I bought this at Christmas and it's still on sale. Although the sale is a little less than because the list price is $25 and they've got it on sale for 13. But I think when I bought it for you, it was even cheaper than that.
Yeah, I don't remember. No, I don't remember you telling me the price of it when you
But
got it
like,
for
well,
Wayne.
no, I wouldn't tell you the price. But
Well, you didn't get it for me. You got it
like
for Wayne.
Amsterdam is 23,
Hmm.
New York is 19.
They have one that's just New York.
Yeah, and San Francisco is $20. I think all of these smaller ones are supposed to be like
Like expansions or something.
no, not expansions, but to like get you used to the game or
Oh, okay.
something. But
Yeah, because I was ready to like lay down a bunch of trains and start messing stuff up and causing issues. Because it was me, Wayne, and Pierce, the roommate, played with us as
uh-huh.
well, and it was it like right towards the very end of the game is when it started getting a little hairy when people were like blocking and stuff. But it was not nearly as bad as when we played the normal one.
Yeah, see, Ticket to Ride proper is $55.
Hmm.
And it's on sale on Amazon right now for 46. But still it's
Got to pay for all them extra train cars.
exactly.
But I
But
also what else I wanted to say was I also the other day sat down and played a heavily modified version of the game with the two girls that I babysit. And
Oh.
yeah, so they
What
are
do you mean
6
heavily modified? Why would you have to modify it?
heavily modified in how you get the points, because they are 6 years old. And so I'm like, I narrowed it down to, because I didn't want them to have to deal with the strategy of, oh, this one is farther away and so this one's worth more points, but you might not have enough cars and blah blah blah. And so the way that I did the points was, you get a point for every train card or every bus that you are able to put down, and you get an extra point for every card that you are able to complete.
Uh-huh.
That's how we modified it to make it simpler, because we already had to sit down. We took a good like 10 minutes at the beginning of the game, of them sitting through and reading the names of the cities, so they knew what all the cities are, and then like finding where each city is on the map. And then they liked to take a lot of time like sitting there and tracing their finger over the path that they were going to take. And it took them a little longer than I thought that it would for them to understand, like, because the excitement for them was laying down the buses. They just wanted to lay down buses. And so it took them a while to understand that part of the game is you have to get the cards to be able to lay down the buses, because they, as soon as they got like 5 cards or something, then they were like bus 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 bus, and then they were running out of cards. And I was like, okay, if you want to lay, I was like, do you want to draw cards this turn or you want to lay buses? And they're like, I want to lay buses. And this is how I had to do every turn. You want to draw cards? You want to lay buses? And they're like, I want to lay buses. And I was like, okay, before you open the little baggie of buses, this is how I stop them from getting buses everywhere. Before you open your little baggie of buses, I need you to point to me on the map where you're going to lay your buses. And I need you to hand me the cards that fit for that section of the map. And so they would point somewhere on the map, and then I'd hold my hand out for the cards, and then they would look and realize, oh, I've only got one pink card, and that takes 4 oranges. And so I'm like, okay, so that means that you can't lay any buses for this turn, so you need to draw cards. And they like, at first are getting kind of sad, because they really wanted to just take out the little buses and put them on the thing. But then they finally started to understand the flow of the game and how it works. And so towards the
Uh-huh.
end, it was okay. I think the
Cool.
only big issue that we had was that one of the girls got a card that was like one city and then the other city is like all the way across, and she ended up getting, I ended up blocking her accidentally, because I was so busy just trying to making sure that they knew what they were doing. And then
Uh-huh.
her sister ended up blocking her as well, and so she got blocked twice on her way trying to go back, so she didn't get to finish her card. And I explained to them, once you get down to 3 buses, then there's only one more turn and the game stops. And she didn't have enough like stuff to finish her card, and so she got very upset because she just wanted to finish her destination card. But
Uh-huh.
she like, but with the way that I modified the rules, she ended up winning anyway, because she laid down almost all of her buses. And she like,
Uh-huh.
she kind of felt better like at the end when she realized not everybody's going to make all of their cards. And I like fudged it so I didn't make one of my cards too, so that she like, so she didn't feel alone in being the only one that didn't make cards.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it ended up working out, and I think they understand well enough to play with the rules modified like that. And maybe like later on we can start introducing the rules proper. But they seem to really have fun. It was simple enough for them to like be able to match up colors, this many squares, this is where you can lay your buses, and it
You're
was good
being
reading practice.
you're being such a good babysitter. So proud of you.
Not you making me cough too. What is going on?
It's contagious.
You sending me viruses over the internet? Watch out,
Yes,
Ronald. She's sending them over the computer.
I'm sending viruses over the internet. So, just when I thought I was safe,
Oh my goodness.
Studio Dry Dock pulled me back in.
You're killing me. Studio Dry Dock is killing me. They're never gonna let me be done with this game.
Wildflowers has another update coming out on April 28th. Look at you, Ronald, putting on a mask.
Not him masking up over the computer.
Don't want to be catching my virus. But yes, Studio Dry Dock announced on they. You remember I told you I was avoiding things on um April Fools because I just get
Yes.
annoyed with all the companies putting their fake ads out. I just don't have the energy to deal with it. And so I try to stay off the internet or whatever to avoid all the April Fools jokes. But Duolingo got me with
Yes.
with that fake reality show. I'm still mad about that.
It would
And
have been so
then
good.
and then Wildflowers put out on their TikTok a little picture of a pig, a purple pig with wings. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's their, that's their April Fool's joke, cute. And then everybody was like, "Oh yeah, haha, April Fools." And then the next day on Sunday, they said, "No, it wasn't an April Fool's joke. That's our announcement for the new expansion, the new DLC that is coming out free again
Good.
for April 28th. It's their fabulous farmyard expansion, I think is what they're calling it. And it is new animals. They're going to add pigs and goats and something else. And they're going to add more expansions for your farm buildings. And then there's some surprises that they haven't mentioned yet.
Mm.
So I had put the game down because I was gonna play long enough to get through all the I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna play long enough because I've already married my person that I wanted to marry. So I'm just gonna play long enough to um to unlock all the clothes because there's
Mm.
like 45 new outfits. So I'm going to unlock all the clothes from that last update. And there were two more dates to unlock with my spouse. And then I was like, okay, done. There's not anything else to do because there was one other big spring event. I'm not going to give it away for anybody who might play the game, but there was one other big spring event, and I already finished that big spring event that came with the last update.
Oh, did we lose her? Oh, did we disconnect from the Wi Fi? Does someone need to call charter? Is she still there? Is it her? Is it me? Ronald, if you're there, say something.
It's the
Oh,
internet.
it's the internet. Okay. Okay.
But it was the internet that time. But yeah, I fixed my thing so that it would automatically reconnect
Reconnect.
as soon as the cuz we have these blips in our internet here all the time. But I didn't have it set to reconnect and now it reconnects. So hopefully it won't be as bad when I drop out. Um Anyway, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go ahead and finish every outfit or whatever. I'm just gonna leave it and go on and play my other games because that's what I said I wanted to do. I had a short list of 3 or 4 other games I wanted to play on Apple Arcade and then get rid of the Apple Arcade subscription for a while so I can spend those few dollars because there's a couple other things that I want to try, like do a month or two of some of these language apps
Mm-hmm.
like Lingo Pi or something and try those for a while. And so I want to put that subscription money to something else and then maybe come back to Apple Plus. I mean Apple Arcade or whatever. Or put that Apple Arcade money to Apple Plus because
To
there's
Apple
some
TV
games
so we can
Apple
watch
TV so we can watch Schmigadoon.
Schmigadoon.
But then of course here they come. I just what I said. I had barely stopped. I hadn't played it in like
You haven't played in a hot minute, at least a few weeks.
yeah, it's been 2 or 3 weeks I hadn't played because I've been coloring and doing other things. And then they announced that on April 1st. I was like, oh, well, I can't delete it off my tablet
Mm,
yet.
I mean, you could,
It takes so much room.
so you could. I don't know where I'm going with this design on my
Ooh,
hand
that feels better. But also today,
today.
Apple Arcade released. Let me see if I can pull it up. Released another game, which gives me just another reason to keep
Keep Apple Arcade.
keep Apple Arcade. See how Danny
Can't talk and type.
can't talk and type at the same time because I am pitiful. There is an Apple Arcade game called Doctor Who: An Unlikely Heist.
I need it. What is it? I need it. I hope it's
Yeah.
better than that other Doctor Who game we played.
Oh yeah.
I was so frustrated with that because it felt like it was going to be so cool, and it felt like they just kind of dropped the ball, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but it had full motion video, so you would expect that it was going to be really nice, but
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to see if there was a video or something to go with this.
So while she's pulling that up, for reference to everybody else, the other Doctor Who game that we played, I can't remember the name of it. It was like Weeping Angels in Time or something, but it was styled after, if you've ever played like Emily is Missing or Simulacra, the games where it's like you have found someone's phone and then you're communicating with someone through the phone. So you're like going through the phone processes and opening up messages in the phone and doing video chats and stuff like that. It was styled like that. And so there's like Weeping Angels have landed somewhere and you're trying to help somebody with it. And it had one of the, I think one of the actual actors or voice actors in it and everything. The doctor didn't show up because the doctor was busy off doing something else. And it had the potential to be really cool, but then just ended up being kind of boring. We played
Yeah,
it together. It was a little frustrating. Like some of the references were cute and cool, but then the gameplay itself was not super fun.
but this is a hidden object game,
Ooh, I would love a Doctor Who hidden object game.
but it also has I think this video that I just pulled up is a playthrough because it just got released today.
Mm-hmm.
And I've downloaded it on my tablet, but I have not. I mean, I downloaded it like 30 minutes before we got on video, so I haven't had a chance to um, play any of it or even see any of it. I haven't even. I just loaded it, but I haven't played any at all.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I saw, it is
Ooh, I gotta get caught up because I'm not on the female doctor. I can't even play this game yet. Man, I'm still so far behind.
it's it's um it's a combination from what I saw. It's a combination of like it's like the newer hidden object games where it's a combination of hidden object plus um
Like puzzle game?
plus there's other like mini games where there's other puzzles. So it's not just always hidden object. I had given up on hidden object games for a while
Mm-hmm.
because the why are they showing this with a controller? Who on earth
Ooh,
is playing Apple Arcade games with a controller? Well,
somebody who likes using a controller.
I guess yeah, because you can sync a controller with your iPad. I don't know why, but
That's what I
I
do on my
do.
phone when I play Xbox games on my phone.
You know me, I don't do controllers. But yeah, I had given up on hidden object games. Number one, because my vision got to a point where trying to play a hidden object game on a computer was too much. Because remember, you guys used to play hidden object games when you were
Yes,
kids. You and
all the
Chloe,
time.
you guys loved those things, and I I liked them briefly, but then it got to a point where I couldn't because I'd have to be up in the screen like this
Mm-hmm.
to try to
Yeah,
play a hidden object game,
they need a zoom in
and
button.
so that was not it for me. And then when we all started buying tablets, because this was before we had tablets, and then when we all started buying tablets and iPads, then I started playing hidden object games because I could, I felt less self conscious holding a tablet up to my face.
Yeah, they do like because even for someone who's not having like eye problems either, they need to have some sort of zoom in button or something so you can zoom in even a fraction of a bit closer because some of that stuff is hard to find. Like
But
the amount of hints that I feel like I've wasted if they could have let me zoom in.
but then the hidden object games um went through a phase where they were I think the last hidden object game I played, I wanted to really like it, but it was like they kept sending you back to the same room to
Mhm.
search for different objects, and sometimes the same objects over and over, because
Yeah.
because it had that free to play mechanism where you had to um get a certain number of points or whatever
Mhm.
to be able to continue to play or to be able to move on to the next level.
Yeah, I don't want to play a free to play hidden object
And
game.
so
I'd
and
rather just buy
so
a game on Big Fish.
and so I got bored with like playing the same. Well, you know me and my cheapness. This was back in my cheap era. I'm just now getting to where I'm willing to spend $5, but this was back in my cheap era where I only played free games.
Mhm.
But and so I got tired of like playing the same room over and over and over. And I don't like games that have a lot of clutter. That's why I don't play a lot of Japanese games that have a lot of different. It's very hard for me to explain, but that just have a lot of different things on the screen and a lot of different clutter and a lot of different. And it's
Like a
not
lot of
just
elements
Japanese.
going on.
A lot of elements going on. It's not just Japanese games because there used to be, some of the cooking games. We've talked about this before. Some of the cooking
Mhm.
games that I like to play. First, it's like, you unlock this restaurant and then you play certain levels and then different things get added to your menu as you pass levels. That's fine. But then they have a different thing over here where there's this competition that you want
Mhm.
to try to get stars in this over here. And then over here on the screen, there's this competition where you try to earn clothes for your character. And then there's this competition where you try to find out the story of your sous chef and why he left his last town. And that gives you different kinds of points. And then it's like all these things to me distract from the main. That's one reason why Wildflowers is my favorite game, because they don't have anything else in it that is distracting you
Mhm.
from the main story. I mean, you have other things you can do, like you can grow all your vegetables, and there's other achievements in Game Center. For those achievement hunters, there's other achievements like cook every recipe, find every fish, unlock all the clothing, brew every potion. You have those kind of achievements if you want to do something on the side, but there's not a bunch of different things distracting you from the main story to make it confusing.
Mhm.
I'm a simple woman. I'm a simple woman. But Doctor Who game, this all goes back to this Doctor Who game seems to be in the newer. I'm starting to see more of the hidden object games because I'm playing another game, a free game called Adventure Escape
Mhm.
Mysteries, and it is
Is it like an escape room kind of thing?
well, um they had a special, what do I want to call it?
Event?
Thank you. They had a special event going that um coincided with the game Clue, or Cluedo
Okay.
for the British people. So I downloaded it specifically to play the Clue event. So I don't know how the main game normally is, but
Mhm.
I'm playing the Clue event, and it's a combination of, there is some hidden object, but then there's also like you look for objects around the room, and then that leads you to a game where you have to rearrange all these books on the shelf in a certain order,
Mhm.
or to unlock the next scene, or I'm sorry, you need to vamp for a minute.
You're good. I can show you. I think I have finished what I'm doing. on my arm because I just don't feel like doing any more finger work. Ooh, there's a nice shot on my ceiling. So we've got this is where I started. And I've got this going on. I'm so worried about all this running together because I did some thick lines there, and this henna is a little bit more liquidy than I prefer. And so I'm worried that all those lines are going to run together, but I'm kind of trying to stretch my hand so it doesn't move
Is
as
that
promising.
sitting on top of that ugly blanket?
It is my favorite blanket in the world. I was trying so hard not to get anything on it because I don't want to stain it because it's my favorite blanket in the world. But yeah,
In case you don't know, Ronald, that blanket that she has on her lap is one that I made with my knitting machine when I first bought it, and I was just trying to use up scraps. And for some reason, she has adopted that blanket. It is the ugliest blanket in the world
I love it.
because I was using any scrap in my bag that even remotely had a pinkish color to it and just threw them all together. And it's ugly as all get out. And for some reason, she still has it. And
I love it.
I made it when she was probably in junior high.
I love it. It's my favorite blanket.
But the henna looks great.
Thank you.
But yeah, the and I think Doctor Who is taking that
That route.
that game style of having
Mhm.
a little bit of a yeah, it has history. It has a sad history when I didn't know any better.
I like it. I think it looks good.
You're a weirdo.
Anyway, the Doctor Who game looks good. Let me know. Let me know how you like it. I need to catch up before I can before I can play it.
Yeah, I'll let you know about it next week. I was just letting you know that it exists
Hmm.
before I so that it will be available to talk about next week.
All
Um
right, y'all. I got to jet out. Have a Spanish lesson in a bit. Have fun, Ronald.
have fun, Ronald. It's so nice of you to hang out.
Yeah,
You need to check out Destinos if you haven't yet. We'll talk about that next week.
Destinos. That means you have to watch Destinos.
Destinos. Well, it'll help
Have,
with his Spanish.
yeah, but for you to talk about it, you need to watch it.
I've watched Destinos
I
before.
thought you said you never finished it because you didn't know what happened
Well,
at
I
the
know I
end.
didn't finish it, but I mean it's a year's worth of Spanish lessons.
So
And
that means you.
I only made it through like maybe the first 10 or 15.
So you need to watch it so y'all can have a real conversation about it.
Whatever.
Oh, is this that other game you talking about?
Yeah, this is Adventure Escape Mysteries. I think it's available on Google.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, because I might try this.
But right now they've got a clue style mystery
Mm-hmm.
going on. And I have it set on easy. So I think the puzzles are a little bit easy, but you know me, I don't like to be frustrated. So I
Yes.
think as I'm playing them, I'm like, this is fine for me. I think somebody else would think this is a baby game. But
Mm-hmm.
this is fine for me.
Ooh, last thing, Professor Plum is giving Zaddy energy. I'm into it. Ronald! Ronald!
Shame on you, Ronald. Yes, it is available on Google Play.
Ronald
And it
hop back
is
in to say something sassy. Continue.
and it is one of those free to play um games. But yeah,
Okay.
it has hidden objects, but it also has clues. It clue the Cluedo event was a limited time, but they extended it because so many people were enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll play like a little bit of it, and then I'm like, okay, I've done one or two puzzles. Like there was a puzzle on the pool table
Mm-hmm.
that that it took me forever to solve that puzzle. It took me I kept messing it up because it's like if you mess up one of the you have to get all the balls in the holes without hitting the other balls,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't hit more than two sides.
Oh, so you're having to
And
like calculate your bounces
And yeah, exactly.
and stuff.
And it makes you start over
Oh.
if you mess it up. So even if you got like four of the balls in the holes, if you mess up that fifth ball, you got to start over again. And so
Hmm.
then you got to remember how you did it. And
Yeah.
it's like
See.
I did
Yeah.
that thing over and over and over.
That's the kind of puzzle I don't mind. The kind of puzzles that stress me out if I see them in a game, like immediately I would get stressed if I see them in the game. The slider puzzles, where it's a picture and then there's like one square that's empty and you have to slide them
Oh
around.
yeah.
Slider puzzles will stress me out to no end immediately.
Oh, I don't mind slider puzzles.
No, slider
I don't,
puzzles stress me out because
I
I
don't
feel
mind
like I'm
those.
getting it. I feel like I'm getting it and it's nowhere, and I will just be randomly because I have no method of trying to figure out how to fix it. I will
Uh-huh.
just randomly be sliding and just praying to the puzzle gods that it's gonna line up.
That's how I did with the puzzle that was just on the screen with the plugs. I kept
And
trying to
lights.
get get the plug. I was just like randomly going, please, I don't know how to do this.
Please let it happen.
Please let it happen. But I think I only looked up clues once, and that was on the pool table puzzle. And I didn't look up the whole solution. I looked up just how to get one of the balls. Just let me get one
Hmm.
of the balls, please.
Yeah, and then you'd like kind of figure out the rest of it from there.
And then I still had to do it over like 5 or 6 times before I got it figured out.
Hmm.
But but yeah, it's because there's some story in between. Somebody killed the guy, and he was he was blackmailing everybody into helping
Hmm.
him with something, and so they all had a reason to kill him.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that sounds fun.
the
That sounds
clue
like
event.
something. It sounds like something I could pop up on my phone while the girls are like watching Adventure Time for the 100th time.
And so far, I haven't. I don't think Adventure Escape Mysteries is part of um Apple Arcade, but I don't remember seeing any ads.
Ooh.
Maybe because the Clue event is like a giant Hasbro ad in itself.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Maybe that's why they're not giving me an ad, but I honestly don't remember seeing any ads.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Or to be fair, it could be that I am just so immune to ads
That they were there and you
because
just weren't paying any attention to them.
exactly because I grew up with ads, so I could just be so immune to them that I didn't see them.
Yeah, ads that are like banners on the top or bottom, those I will fully block out. You do not exist in my periphery. But ads that are like a full video popping up on the screen, if you have too many of those, I might be deleting your app.
Oh, see, that's funny because the ads, the banner ads at the top at the bottom, those annoy me because they take up screen space and I can't see as it is. So
Yeah, I will.
yeah, those
Those do
will
not
have
exist to me.
me, those will have me deleting an app. But but a video ad, I'm fine.
A video ads for me, if I have a video ad while I'm watching TV, that's no problem. Like as long as you're not giving me a ridiculously long ad or like a bunch of ads,
Mhm.
video ads while watching TV is no problem. Video ads when I'm playing a game, get out. Who do you think you are? Get out.
I can still video ads when I'm playing a game. I am fine, but there have been games like that. Every time every time this subject comes up, I think of a particular game that I was really enjoying, and I cannot remember the name of this game. It may not even exist anymore
Hmm.
because there are other games that I enjoyed that didn't exist anymore. Remember, I told you about that dog game where the dog would where dogs were illegal and the dogs were trying to
Hmm.
get to the end, and he was picking up all the other dogs and picking up food for the dogs
Hmm.
and trying to get to the end before the police got to him. I can't remember the name of that game, but I still think about that game.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
wish I wish I had kept it on whatever device I had it on so that I could still play it because I enjoyed that game. Um, but no, there was another game where you were like you're an animal, but you're like a anthropomorphized animal,
Yeah.
and you're on a tractor, and
You have to complete a certain route around your farm, and you get extra points or powers, whatever, if you pick up different eggs and things on your farm. But
Okay.
if the chickens and the cows cut you off too many times, then your route is messed up and you lose the level. And it's like
Okay.
you have to complete the route in a certain way that it like draws. So like when you're at the end, it'll show you, okay, you drew the circle, so you completed it right. Or
Uh-huh.
you went around the route in a heart, so you completed it right. You get what I'm saying?
Sort of, yeah.
But like as you're doing it, it's not like a top down where you can see, okay, I'm drawing a heart. It's like
Oh,
a
it's like
almost like
front on.
it's almost no, it's not front on. It's
A
like a
side
side
scroller?
it's like a side scroller platformer type thing.
Okay.
But the arrows are showing you go this way, then go that way, then go this way. But
Uh-huh.
if the animals get in your way to block you from going in the right direction, then it'll mess up your route and you won't get to the end.
Okay.
It was a fun game, but it was difficult to avoid the
Mhm.
animals. But it was difficult in that kind of way of, okay, one more again. I'm going to get it this time. One
Uh-huh.
more again, you know. But every time you messed up on the level, you got an ad
Absolutely not.
every single time.
Absolutely not.
And I deleted that game. And I wanted to keep that game so bad.
I
But
would have
I
been so
deleted that game.
frustrated.
And it wasn't I can't remember if either it was one of those games where they didn't have the option to remove ads, because some games will like pay us $5 and we'll just take all the
Mhm.
ads off. It was either it didn't have the option to remove ads, or I was in my my cheap phase where I didn't pay for games.
Yeah.
It was one of those two. It was a while back, so it could have been in my cheap phase.
Mhm.
Cause honestly, right now that game was so fun that if they had told me pay $5, I would have paid them $5.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I can't
I
remember.
having that many ads, it even just like it messes up the flow of you
Uh huh.
trying to repeat the game.
Cause
Like
I've
even if
played
it was like every
games.
2 or every 3 turns, then it wouldn't be as bad.
Exactly. I've played games where after every third attempt they give you an ad.
Mhm.
You know, or my favorite free to play mechanism is, um, they don't really give you the ads, except like they'll give you an ad like maybe after every fifth level,
Mhm.
but you can call up the ads if you want to get extra,
Extra
you
points
know,
or extra
ex-
time or extra.
extra currency.
Yeah.
You want to get a booster to finish this level better. Watch this ad.
Mhm.
I like those. I don't ever
Yeah.
use them, but no, that's
I'll
not fair.
use
I
it.
do, I
Yeah.
do, I do use them sometimes. If an ad is if a level is really hard and I'm struggling, yeah, I'll watch the ad to get the extra coins to get off this level.
Yeah, but if you've already got so many ads in your game, absolutely not.
Exactly. That's ridiculous.
All right, where else are we on this list? What do we got?
Oh, Lingo Legends. Why'd you put that on?
I played because I downloaded it. I told you after last week that I was going to download it and I was going to try it out. I downloaded it and I tried it. I like it actually. I like it a good bit. And I think the biggest thing that I like about it is I feel like I am actually getting and being forced to learn new vocabulary. Because every time I play Duolingo, because I am intermediate, and every time I play Duolingo, I will like get to a certain point and I'm like, I will just like peter out because I'm like, you are making me go over and reiterate these words I am so confident that I know so well. And we need some different words. And from the get go, they were starting off with words that like a few words that because I'm doing it in French, a few words that I knew, but from the get go, I did not know the word for painkiller. I did not know the word for credit card.
Yeah, see, that's what confused me when I started it in Spanish. I was like, okay, I'm not an absolute beginner, so I'll pick the next level up, which is novice.
Hmm.
And they were already giving me words as if I already knew them, and I'm like, oh, this confused. That's my thing about. I think that's why I haven't advanced so far in
Mm.
Spanish because as soon as they give me a bunch of words that I don't know, I start to panic and go, "Oh, I don't know these."
Oh, see, I was like,
And
yes, give me, teach me, and they called me on my BS too, because I was like, oh yeah, sure, I know this feels a little familiar. I might know this word, and good. And then they have you like spell out the word, and you like,
uh-huh,
and they've got, and not even in the chunks of letters, but they've got individual letters. You got to spell that word, and I was like,
uh-huh.
ooh, so how do you spell headphones again? Like I was, because I was like, oh yeah, this is fine. I know French. I could probably guess around it. And then they had me spell out this word, and I was like, oh, I need to pay attention. I need to pay attention. They got me.
Yeah, I think part of the problem for me is I'm at that level in Spanish where everything is present tense. You
Hmm.
know, Juan is working, you know, Maria is eating,
Hmm.
so but then you jump into Lingo Legend and it's Juan 8. And I don't know the word for Juan 8.
They will throw some stuff because they did they what was it? They threw some kind of sentence at me that I was like, okay, I said I'm intermediate, but you did not preface me on this. Like I knew what it
Exactly.
was, but I was
Exactly.
like, you did not preface me.
Like Duolingo, the thing about Duolingo is that when they introduce you to something, they spend a bunch of time
Leading you up to it.
leading you up to it so you feel like you learned it. That's as much as people rag on Duolingo, they do spend time leading you up to it.
Hmm.
Whereas this thing, it jumped you right in and expected you to know. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
said this is this word, this is what it means. You're gonna go. And I feel
The only time that Duolingo does that is on the stories. Do you do any of the
yeah.
stories on Duolingo?
I've done a couple of stories and I really like the stories. And then
Mhm.
I did the thing that I always tend to do with things where I stopped doing the stories because I didn't want to run out of stories because I like the stories. And so then I just stopped doing them. But so I'm not running out, but I'm also not doing the thing that is fun for me.
Mhm. Well, have you has on Duolingo have they given you the new path thing yet?
I have not opened it up since they said that I'm going to open up my Duolingo right now. We're about to check it out live.
Oh, I will open mine up as well.
Because I have not. Oh, and now Duo's about to start giving me these notifications of, oh, so you're back. Are we going to do some lessons? And then I'm going to start getting all those notifications of like, why were you not Duo over here freaking out? Oh, yep, they switched me. Good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. Stop with your sass, Duo.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Is that what it said?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah, they
my
switched me to the path.
goodness. Good, 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 good. Well, you'll notice on the path then that they throw the stories in every so often.
Okay,
So
I see.
like
I
so
didn't.
like one of my lessons because the way it was before, you had to I still have Super Duolingo till the end of the month. But because I paid for a month of the Super
I'm in.
Duolingo.
I'm gonna need them to give me something to do with these gems that I am earning.
But the um you see the book there? That's them throwing in a story.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have some
So
stories built in.
they'll
Okay.
throw the stories thrown in on the path. If you just follow the path, you'll get stories thrown in. So you
Mhm.
won't run out of you. I don't know how many stories they have in French. I know they have a bunch in Spanish.
I think it's about the same. It's probably about the same.
They have a
I
bunch.
I just need Duolingo to give me. They are giving me all of these gems. I need them to give me something to do with them.
How many gems do you have?
Hang on, I'm about to pull this up for you.
I
Oh,
can't see that. What does it say?
let me turn my ring light off.
Is that 11,000? Oh my
Yes.
god! You don't ever use your gems?
What am I supposed to use them on? Because at first they had, when Duolingo first started, they had like, oh, here's an extra little lesson, and so I bought the lesson for like flirting in French, and then there was another one that was like
Yeah, I
idioms.
know. I never bought those, and now I'm mad because I don't see them on there anymore.
I wish that they had more of those. I thought that they were gonna have more of those, and then they didn't. Because I was like, oh, let's get this, and I'm gonna have more like the flirting and the idioms, because those are super cute and fun. And I was like, okay, so there's gonna be extra like fun lessons that you can spend your gems on. No, the only thing that you can spend your gems on is to buy a streak freeze, and a streak freeze only costs like 5 gems or something. I am getting bukus, and they have right under like, oh, you can spend 19.99 to get 6,500 gems, and I'm like, baby, for what? Baby, for I'm rolling in it.
I'm trying to see what else you can spend your gems on.
Like if gems were
Well,
real
like if you
money, I would be duo sugar mama right now. What am I supposed to spend these on?
um well, if you're trying to if you
I just want to get rid of them. I'm literally in the shop right now. There is nothing for me to buy my gems on, spend
I
my
don't
gems
even
on.
remember where is the shop in here. I'm trying to
If
remember where
you
the shop is.
if you click on your gems, it brings them up.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, scroll through there. Tell me what I'm supposed to spend these gems on. Tell me, because
Okay.
I will throw them. I will shower them like dollars at a stripper. But I have nothing. I have nowhere to put them. There's just nowhere to put them.
Uh, you're right. There's not a
Like,
lot.
give me, and they used to have costumes that you could buy for Duo. You could buy, because I bought Duo a
Yeah.
little top hat, and now
Yeah.
Duo is not wearing
I
this
re-
top hat
I
that I so graciously bought him.
I remember all that stuff that they used to. Yeah.
Like, why do you still have the gem system if you do not really have anything for you to spend
And
them on?
the gem system is different on um because on here I have 2,679 gems,
Mm-hmm.
but
Don't tell
if
me it's
you
different on the computer. Do
oh,
not tell me that right
it's
now.
different on the computer. On the computer, it's called lingots,
Yeah,
and um,
I think that's what they're called on here too, or at least it used to be.
yeah, it used to be, but it's on the
Yeah, they
computer.
switched it to calling it gems, but it used to be called lingots. But so
On
they
the
didn't
computer,
change it on the computer.
no, on the computer, I'm pulling it up now. On the computer, I only have 269 lingots because I don't use it on the computer that often. So it
So nothing
like if
transfers
I
over.
yeah, so like if you I'm sorry, vamp, my nose is running.
You're good. I'm just trying to figure out why do they not transfer over? Why are your lingots on the computer not also lingots and gems on the phone, and then lingots and gems on the computer? Why have they gotten rid of everything that I can spend my gems on, but yet are still giving me just gems out the a hole every time I complete lessons? Because I will fly through some lessons just like trying to get somewhere that like feels like a challenge for me on Duolingo, and I'm just like gathering up these gems with nowhere to put them.
Yeah, even though I have a streak of 118 days, you apparently are doing way more lessons than I am because I do the bare minimum to some days, like 2 or 3 days ago, I did like 3 lessons in
Mm-hmm.
a row. I did like 15, 20 minutes. Um, but generally I end up at like 11:30 at night going, oh my gosh, I don't want to break my streak. Let me do a
Mm-hmm.
quick thing right quick. So I don't,
See,
and I do the bare minimum to not break my streak.
see what
So
I'm in a. Go ahead.
so I don't I don't use up a lot. I'm looking at the store on here and there's really nothing that you can buy here either.
Give me something to buy. Give me the costumes back. Give me the cute, quirky little lessons. Make some of those funny TikTok videos that you do. Make them. Give me. You know what I want? They need to take this April Fool's joke that they did of Duolingo having a reality show. They need to make this a reality show, and then you can spend your gems to buy episodes of this reality show on the app so I can watch it. That is what we need to do. I'm doing this and I'm putting this into the universe. Duolingo, y'all do some quirky shenanigans. This is what I want. This is what I need. This will get me to use your app again.
Yeah, I mean,
Cause I will get some gems to watch this
I still
episodes.
use Duolingo, but I'm like I'm starting to understand because until you pointed that out to me, I had totally forgotten. It was one of those things where, oh yeah, eventually I'm gonna get to a point because I wanted to get to a certain level of mastery before I went back and bought like the idioms and the
Hmm.
the extra lessons. And now realizing that they're not there anymore,
Yeah.
now I understand why people are mad about this path thing.
Yeah. Also, I bought those lessons. Where are they now? What if I wanted to go review those lessons? Where are they now?
Exactly. The pretty much on
They don't
what am I trying to
exist.
say?
Because I'm
Yeah,
scrolling through now trying to find those
I don't
lessons. They're
see them
gone.
anywhere. I don't see them anywhere. But
Bruh.
pretty much what I use my gems slash lingots for is they have where is it?
The streak freeze.
No, not the streak freeze. If you go, the little shield thing, the little
I'm trying to go
shield,
look.
the little shield thing across the bottom. I don't know how your
Yeah,
app
yeah.
looks. And you click on that and it shows you like you're in the Sapphire League or you're in the
Mm-hmm.
Ruby League or whatever. And then in the bottom right corner, there'll usually be some sort of game, like a match game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I end up spending my gems on that. Also I spend my gems on like you see how you see how some of my things are gold. That's
Yeah.
because I went to legendary on all those. And
Yeah.
then and then when you come down here you see that they're purple, and then you come down here and see these are green.
Uh-huh.
So those are the different levels that you've
Okay.
gotten to. So like the ones that are gold on top, that means that I did the legendary and completed
Mm-hmm.
that, but they make you pay to do the legendary.
They make you pay to do that now? Because I've got some gold if you look at the
Yeah,
bottom, and then those up the top are
yeah,
purple.
yeah. They make you pay to do that now. Different
What?
things.
You wait, but you pay
So
with the gems or with
with the gems,
money?
no,
Okay.
with the gems, not with money. With the
Okay.
gems,
So
with the
that's something I
gems.
could spend my gems on, I guess. I feel like my
Just
idea
because
was
I'm
better.
trying, because I'm you know me, I tend to be a completionist kind of person.
Hmm.
So I oh, and also these things, like you see the little people
Yeah.
and you
Which
see like I have 1 star on that. Yeah, you pay to try to get the next star on that. You use
that
coins
must be a
to pay that.
premium feature because
Gem.
my people don't have stars. Like I can't click them.
No, because I don't always pay for I had this even before I paid for Super Duolingo. I only paid for 1 month
Maybe
of
it's just an iPhone thing because mine, you see, my little people don't have like, and when I click them, it doesn't do anything. There's not an option for that.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I think that and the little widget that you have where Duo's crying on the floor, I think those might maybe those are just iPhone
iPhone
things
things, maybe,
because I don't have the widget either. That's a bummer.
maybe. But yeah, you I clicked the little person and it's like a rapid review thing.
Oh, okay.
And if you do the review, then you get your second star, but you have to pay to
You have to pay with gems to be able to do the review.
you have to pay with gems to be able to do the review, yeah. So
I still think my idea is better. Duolingo, I'm talking directly to you.
yeah.
Duo, you Greenbird, I'm talking to you. Make that TV show and make me pay 100 gems to watch an episode. I will
Or
be on that app.
oh, there's also a thing where like when you do the review, there's a timer. Because it, part of it being a rapid review is that you need to do it with 2 minutes or less. So
Hmm.
you need to answer those questions quick.
Yeah.
And if you run out of time before
Oh,
you
you
get
can
to
use
the end of
gems to
your
get more
thing,
time.
you can use gems to get another 30 seconds to
Hmm.
finish answering your questions or whatever. So I use my gems for that.
Yeah, I need to start using this app again and see if I can blow through some of these gems. Because I've been sitting on that amount for so long and just racking them up.
Yeah, what I'm wanting to do is do something else, add something else in with the Duolingo.
Yeah. For me, I feel like the Lingo Legend is a good supplement because Lingo Legend is just adding a bunch of vocabulary, which is, I think, the thing that I struggle with the most because I like doing the like conjugations and making sentences and stuff isn't like, I feel like I have kind of got the gist of that to the point where I could, like, if I really needed to, I could at least kind of fake my way through it, like work my way through it and like I'd be understandable. But if I do not have the vocabulary of the words that I need to make those sentences, that's where I have the issue. Like I need the
Well,
words
see,
to be able to make
well,
the
see,
sentences.
then Duolingo should be perfect for you because Duolingo, to me, Duolingo is all about nouns. It is
But they're
all
giving
about it's
the
all about nouns.
but they're giving the basic nouns that I already know is the
But you
problem.
but you can jump to another section. You realize that, right?
Yes, but like you, I feel like I'm missing something if I jump ahead. So
Yeah.
I that's how I've racked up all those gems is I am just trying to blaze through these lessons. I will get in the mood of
Uh-huh.
I'm going to use Duolingo again. And so I like will blaze through lessons trying to get to something that feels like it's actually giving me something. And then I just get bored and I stop doing it.
Yeah, because Duolingo is all nouns, and that's what people criticize Duolingo for. It's like if
Mm-hmm.
you're wanting to build vocabulary, if you're wanting to build nouns, basically,
Mm-hmm.
then Duolingo is for you. But like conjugating
Mm-hmm.
verbs, I'm in trouble with verbs,
And I
and that's
feel
what
like Duolingo
and
used
that's
to be
what
better at that.
that's what scares me when I because like every time get just the other day I got a wild hair and it's like, okay, what can I do to improve my language learning? And all the things say stuff like, well, you can pick up books or watch television shows and watch them in the language and stuff because there's people in other countries who learn English from watching our television shows, and I'm like,
Exactly.
how?
And how?
Because I get scared off. Like, I have three romances. I was just talking at the top of the show about Prime Mating Agency by Regine Abel.
Mm-hmm.
This is a series that she writes that I like. Some people don't like it; they think it's simplistic, but whatever. I've read all the books so far, and they are available on Kindle Unlimited in French and in Spanish. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, oh, cool. I've read this book before. I've read the first book twice. I could read it in Spanish, but and I have it on my
Mm-hmm.
list, but I am afraid to crack it open because I know
Yep.
I'm gonna read the first sentence and go, I don't know what any of this is.
That's how I feel. I really want to watch The Miraculous Adventures of Ladybug in French because it is a like the show was created in like it's a French show and they have it fully like voiced in French and French subtitles. The problem is if I watch it completely in French with French subtitles, I will not know enough and I will not know what's going on. If I
Hmm.
watch it in English with French subtitles, I will ignore the subtitles and not watch them and just listen to the English. If I
Uh-huh.
watch it in French with English subtitles, I will read the subtitles and not listen to what they're saying.
Uh-huh.
Like it is and so I like my only option is to try to watch it in French with French subtitles and I will like it's I will be just lost enough that I can't do it. And it's so
I
frustrating.
was watching something that was supposed to be a listening exercise and they were talking slow, and
Mhm.
like all I got was like the nouns at the end of the sentences or at the
Mhm.
beginning when they would say something like also or of course
Mhm.
or it's true because I understand like claro. I can't remember the words, but claro or que sí or
Mhm.
también or entonces, those beginning words that are like also
Mhm.
or like
Like
that at the
connecting kind of
beginning.
words.
Yeah, those kind of words I get, you know, if they
Mhm.
say ease from oh is or the the little words like that, and then words at the end. Occasionally, if somebody will say something like abuela or
Mhm.
ciudad, or nouns that I know,
Mhm.
but then all the verbs and stuff in between there, I don't know what you said.
Yeah, and I really feel like Duolingo, unless I was just using another app and don't, but I feel like Duolingo used to be, especially when they had the where you could leave comments on
Hmm.
lessons and people would go in and like and answer questions and stuff, and so you could read the comments and kind
Hmm.
of understand. And I
Hmm.
feel like they did more with verbs previously, and they
Hmm.
have simplified and simplified and simplified themselves down that they are not as useful as they used to be,
Yeah,
which is frustrating.
yeah. So that's what led me back to thinking about Destinos
Mm-hmm.
and try, because the whole thing is free, available free online. And also, oh, I knew what else I was going to ask you, and then we're going to wrap this up because we're already at two
Yes.
hours. But it leads to this here. When you learned French in school,
Yes.
did they use French in action?
Did we use French in action? I don't remember. I don't remember that. What is, because that
It
that sounds
is
familiar, but I'm trying to
it is a video series.
French in action. Are you pulling it up right now?
I sure am.
Because it sounds familiar. We may have looked at a little bit of it.
It is like the most well known, and it's been around since like 1986 or something. And it's got 52 episodes.
Because I remember I didn't watch so many videos in high school when I was learning French, but we did watch a lot of stuff in college when I was learning French.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out the best way to bring it up to you.
Mm-hmm. Because I feel like if I looked at it, then I would understand.
Yeah. But it's like a very popular.
Is it like for kids or is it
Oh
like
no, no,
meant
no, no,
for?
no, no, no,
Okay.
no. It's like it was from 1987, so it came before Destinos,
Uh huh.
which Destinos was like 1992. And Destinos, from what people say, Destinos kind of improved on what French
On
in
what they were trying
Action
to do.
does, on what French in Action does, but French in Action is still like the touchstone,
Mm-hmm.
the you know.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I'm going to talk about another video that I remembered watching in French class. This is always the first video I think of whenever I think of videos that we watched in French class. And we talked about it. So I was in the class with the same people for all 4 years. And we watched this, I want to say, my first year or first semester. And we were still talking about this film in my fourth year, taking my last French class. But there was a video that we watched where, and it was all in French. It was just a French film, and we were just watching it for like practice, like listening and stuff. But there was this acting gig, and this woman goes in and she's auditioning for this acting job, and she walks in and she is like either reciting a monologue or just kind of introducing herself, and they say, well, here, go over there and grab your purse and talk about some of the stuff that's in your purse. And so she goes and she grabs her bag, and I'm going to keep looking at this while I'm talking, but she goes and grabs her bag and she's like pulling stuff out of the bag. She's like, this is the lighter that my grandfather gave me before he like moved away, blah, blah. And she pulls out a picture and she's like, this is a picture of my best friend from such and such. And she's like going through and pulling out all these items and telling all these heartfelt stories about all these items. And then they tell her, oh, you got the job. And so she sits the purse down and walks out, and they're like, oh, can somebody catch her, she forgot her purse. And somebody else walks in the room, they're like, that's not her purse, she made all of it up. Yeah, and they're like, she has got that job, she made everything up from every item in that person. They're like, she has got this job. It was so good. And we talk about that. We would talk about that all year. This does not. Oh wait, this does look kind of familiar actually. This
But
looks a little
it
familiar.
is a romance between, I think the woman is Colette.
Uh huh.
This is the first episode where she's on her way to school and she talks to different people as she heads to class.
Yeah, this does look familiar. Maybe we did watch this when I was in high school. Maybe. Or maybe we like watched a little bit of it when there was a substitute or some kind of something, but didn't watch the whole series. Because that woman looks familiar. I feel like I've seen that woman before.
I watched a little bit of this
Hmm.
yesterday
Now I kind of want to watch it.
and I was like,
This
okay,
music doesn't sound familiar though.
there is no subtitles.
No,
I am not, I am
there is
scared.
nary a subtitle.
I am scared.
Ooh,
I
now
do
I'm
not,
following her.
I do not think I can watch this. Let me see if there's subtitles on here.
I want to go back and try to watch this now. Is this where is this? Where are you pulling this up
Okay,
at?
what did they say?
I just heard them say goodbye because I was talking. I wanna listen to see if I can catch any of it. Hi, how are you? How are you too? I'm good. Something. She said again. I didn't hear what he said because he said something and she looked at the time and she's like again. Uh, he's a professor. He speaks French. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. Goodbye. Oh, he does speak French. That's what he said. And now she's returning something. And they're going to speak French. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? What? Oh no. She's tired. She wanted to eat and she's tired. I'm catching like little bits and pieces of it, but not. And we can't watch this whole video on the stream. We need to turn this off.
Okay, we are not.
Yeah, the two of us would sit here and watch this whole thing right now. We
I
and
know because we're
lengthen the
pitiful.
stream.
But each video is like 30 minutes long.
Now I want to go watch it. I feel like
And
this would be a good like in between before I start trying to watch something else.
as you can see, there are 52 episodes. It was meant to be like a whole year's worth of Spanish, not Spanish,
French.
French lessons. And I was trying to see if they had any.
Yeah, because this feels just easy enough that I feel like I could watch this in French even without those subtitles and like sort of almost get the gist of what's going on.
I was trying to see if there was any. But Annenberg is the same company that made Destinos,
Mm-hmm.
but they made it like 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why does it feel like people stopped making shows to teach people languages?
I
Like
don't
that, why does that feel like a thing of the past? Because it feels like it would be such a good learning tool because people would be interested in the show and so they want to know what's going on and so they watch the show and they're like learning language at the same time. But it like when was the last time someone made a show to teach someone a language?
There we go. We have Destinos and we have French in Action. They are
Mm-hmm.
all they are all designed for um ninth grade and up.
So yeah, I should be able to watch that.
So yeah, this is supposed to be a romance between these two on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
French in Action is. Excuse me. And Destinos is
Is a mystery.
It's a mystery. How do you know it's a mystery?
Because we watched Destinos when you were teaching me Spanish.
I taught you no Spanish.
You tried. And we watched Destinos. And I remember Destinos. Because we watched Destinos back when cousin Kelly was living with us. When Kelly Jr.
Yes.
was living with us.
And I'm mad at myself because I think I got rid of my textbook.
Really? I thought that thing was sitting on your shelf for like the longest time.
It was, but I went through a period where I was cleaning everything and I think I got rid of it.
Mm.
I'm going to look downstairs just to make sure because I think I'm going to go ahead and go back to this, and try it.
I'm about to go watch some French in action
I
and
was
report
I
back
was
to you
looking,
guys.
I was looking at French in action, but I was like I cannot learn this. I
Well,
cannot
you
learn.
haven't been practicing French. You've been practicing Spanish.
I know. But even just listening to it, I was like, ugh. There's just something. I think it's the same thing that Spanish did for you, where it's you took Spanish for several years, but it just did not click with you.
It did
And
not.
I feel like the same thing for me and French. I'm listening to them do French and I'm hearing
Because that's kind of what French sounds like. It's a bunch of just sounds and silent vowels at the ends of words.
it's like I don't feel them enunciating anything. It's all I'm like, I
Hmm.
don't even like the way this sounds in my ear. I don't want to learn this.
You don't like the French ASMR?
No, it's just I mean, part of me wants it. Honestly, to be honest, the only reason I want to learn French is because you speak French.
Mm,
And I feel like it would be something fun that we could work on together.
yeah,
But if any of y'all would pick up Spanish, I would be on it because Spanish
I am
is
not the
just
one.
because French it just feels like no. It just feels like no. And I keep half-heartedly leaning toward it and then going, no, but this and then the and then they're all I can't tell the difference between those. To just
It, yeah, I don't know how to help you because they sound different to me, so I don't know how to help you.
it's just and I mean I experienced some of that with Spanish, like this and that, those words in Spanish are
S and
very
say.
similar. Yeah,
That's what it is in French.
in Spanish it's like este and then esta and then
Hmm.
este, and it's like sometimes I don't know. And sometimes you put an accent over the a on esta, and it
Hmm.
means this, and then sometimes you don't put the accent, and it means is, and I'm like, I,
I feel you.
but
That's
they both sound the same,
we have that
and
same
I'm
thing
like,
in French when because French for some reason just decided anything that is like the last two or three letters, you don't need to say that. You just don't need to say that, or it'll all sound like a, like or like sounds like a, and then sounds like e with an accent sounds like a, es sounds like et sounds like a. All of those on the end of the word
mhm,
will sound like a, and so it's
exactly,
so I understand. So
exactly,
I'm like, what? So you really have to pull the context of it and say, like, what were you trying to say? What would make sense in the sentence?
exactly. And with both languages, I understand. I know a lot of people have trouble with written when they're learning languages, have trouble with written languages
Hmm.
versus the but I'm just the opposite. If I see it written,
Absolutely.
I have a much better chance of figuring out what it
Absolutely.
says
Then trying to hear somebody
than
say it out into the air.
hear somebody
Absolutely.
say it. When they say it and then they run the words together, and but I mean that's the same, that's not language based because that's the same with English.
Hmm.
I mean, sometimes I'll be watching some of these Australian or British shows. They're speaking the same language I speak.
Yeah, but you gotta look down at those
os-
subtitles like
os-
what?
ostensibly, but sometimes they're talking so fast. It's like I don't. It took me years. I'm better now, but it's when I was in my 20s and I had a taste for like British television. It took
Hmm.
me a long time to really sit and listen to it. And not just me, your father, when we first got together and we would watch like EastEnders or something, and he would
Hmm.
be like, "What are they saying?" Because just the whole accent, his ear was not tuned to the
Yep.
accent.
Hmm.
But now we regularly watch British television, and not just like British people who are speaking, with the royal, what do they call it?
Yeah.
It's the
The
the RP accent they call it.
yeah.
I forget what the RP stands for, but the RP accent where it's all posh and everything,
Hmm.
kind of like in America it would be the transatlantic accent
Hmm.
where it's very enunciated
Yeah.
so that everybody can understand it and you don't know what part of the country they come from.
Hmm.
No, we watch stuff that is aimed toward British people that do not expect Americans to ever watch it.
Yeah. Give me somebody in Cardiff.
And
Get one of them accents.
or like the Birmingham or what they call Brummy accents, and it's
Hmm.
like, whew. But we've gotten used to them and
Yeah.
we understand them for the most part because we've tuned our ears to them. But I need to do the same thing for Spanish. And
Hmm.
my ear, because I've tried to learn Spanish off and on over the years, I'm almost tuned to it.
Yeah. And
But French, I don't think I will ever get tuned to French.
I think the thing that helped me the most with French, not so much with the sounds. I think I just like pick up sounds. It's just that's just what I do. But the learning, because the conjugations of verbs and sort of the sentence structure is so similar between Spanish and French that I already had sort of that baseline of all of those
Uh,
years of Spanish. And then
mhm.
when I took French, I was like, oh, I understand how this works and the sounds are easier for me to
Because
do. Sure.
they're all romance languages.
Yeah.
So they're they have the same base
Hmm.
versus like Korean and Japanese and
Yeah.
Chinese, which is a different base altogether.
I wanted to learn Japanese for so long, and I don't think I'm ever gonna. I don't think I'm ever even gonna dip my toe into that. It's just so scary. There's so
There
much.
is a video game that's coming out that helps you learn Japanese vocabulary, but we can talk about that next week.
Ooh, you better add that to the list. Yeah, because we've already gone so much longer than we said we were
I
going to.
know. I
We were about to
know.
watch a whole episode of French in Action. Join us next week where we watch an episode of French in Action and I live translate.
Whatever. But I would want to watch French in Action just to figure out what the romance is, because I'm a romance person.
So
But
I'll go and watch French in Action and I will update you on what's going on.
just like with Destinos, it's like I never finished watching it, so I never knew if he ever found
Hmm.
his first wife
Hmm.
and his child.
So we need to do that. You need to go watch Destinos, and I'll watch French in Action, and we will update each other
Well,
on
I
how
don't
the
want
plot
to
plays out.
ruin the mystery for people. They might want to go back and
Nah, we'll give a spoiler alert and say tune back into us in about 3 minutes after we explain this.
okay,
I
people.
want to know.
My cough medicine has run off, I think, because
Yeah,
my nose is
I
starting.
need to go wrap this hand up because my hand is getting so cold sitting
My
out here letting it dry.
my nose is yeah, my cough medicine is running out. My nose is starting to get. Why
You
does
know,
Google
drippy.
think I'm talking to her? My my
Cause she a
my
nosy hoe.
my Google speaker thinks I'm talking to her.
Cause she nosy.
I don't know why.
She's always
But
listening.
anyway, anyway, this has been the Friday Coffee Klatsch. Thank you for hanging with us. I said it was only going to be an hour, but
Look
here
at
I
us at an
am.
hour and 20 minutes. Or 2 hours and 20 minutes.
my cough medicine kicked in, and I'm enjoying time with my child. So
Because who doesn't want
whatever.
to talk to me?
Oh, whatever. But thanks for hanging with us. Come back next week. Hopefully, all of this will be cleared up.
Yeah, and if you're just coming into this part of the video, go back to the beginning to find out about the cops showing up at my door. Go back to the beginning of this video. Watch the VOD later. Is that what it's called on YouTube? Do we call them VODs here? Watch
I
the
don't
recorded
know.
video to find out
Yes,
about the cops showing up at my house. It was an
yes,
ordeal.
an ordeal.
And if you made
Definitely.
it this far, in the comments, leave. Oh, I want to leave something like Spanish versus French, but I don't know. Leave a French flag
Yeah,
or the
that's what I
Spanish
was
flag
thinking. Either a French flag or a Spanish flag,
for which language you
whichever
know.
language you have an affinity to.
And if you have
Leave that
other ones, go
flag.
ahead and put the other ones in there. We're going to try to guess some flags.
Have an international flag.
Yeah, just
Yeah, like anybody's commenting on our episode.
somebody comment. Prove her wrong. Comment.
Nobody's gonna prove me wrong.
Prove me right. I'm putting it out into
We're,
the universe. I have to be right.
we are
Somebody comment.
talking into the ether.
And the ether is going to pull some listeners out of nowhere. Comment. Do it. This is a
Whatever.
threat.
But anyway, thanks for hanging with us, and we will be back next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Like button, subscribe button, bell. Do it.
Bye.
Bye. My hand is so cold. I've been holding my hand out to dry. My hand is so cold. I really need to wrap it up so I can put my